You clean your house, yet it never feels clean. You scrub, you wipe, you try again, but somehow the dust returns, the smells linger, and the mess feels heavier than before. What if the problem isn't how often you clean, but how you clean? Today, we're breaking down 15 house cleaning mistakes almost everyone makes, and the simple mindset shifts that finally make your home feel calm, fresh, and truly clean. Cleaning is one of those things we assume we already know how to do. We watched our parents. We copied routines from childhood. We followed quick hacks online. But over time, those habits turn into invisible mistakes that waste energy, spread dirt instead of removing it, and quietly make cleaning feel exhausting. This video isn't about perfection. It's not about spotless magazine homes. It's about cleaning smarter, not harder. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your house gets dirty so fast after cleaning, why cleaning sometimes feels emotionally draining, and how small changes can make your home easier to maintain without burning out. Let's start with the mistake that quietly ruins almost every cleaning routine. Mistake 1. Cleaning without a plan. You decide to clean a little, not a full reset, just enough to feel productive. You pick up one thing, a cup on the table, then a shirt on the chair. Then you notice dust on the shelf. Then the floor looks bad. Then you remember the bathroom. And suddenly, 2 hours have passed. Your body is tired. Your motivation is gone. And somehow, the house still looks messy. Not because you didn't work, but because you worked without direction. Random cleaning creates random results. Why this happens? What most people don't realize is that cleaning isn't just physical labor, it's mental labor. When you clean without a plan, your brain stays stuck in constant decision-making mode. What should I do next? Is this more important than that? Did I forget something? Should I switch rooms? This creates decision fatigue, the same kind of mental exhaustion you feel after a long day of problem solving. Instead of entering a flow state, your mind stays scattered, and as mental clutter builds, physical clutter feels heavier. This is why cleaning feels draining, even when the mess isn't that big. You're not tired from cleaning. You're tired from deciding how to fix it. Before touching anything, pause. Not to procrastinate, but to remove thinking from the process. Decide just 3 things. 1. Which room comes first? Not all rooms. One room. This instantly reduces overwhelm. 2. What done looks like. Not perfect, just finished. Clear surfaces, clean floor. That's it. 3. When you'll stop. Time-bound cleaning protects your energy. Then follow one simple sequence every single time. Clear clutter, clean surfaces, finish the floor. This order eliminates backtracking. It removes guesswork. It creates momentum. When your brain knows the order, your body relaxes. And relaxed energy cleans faster. Mistake 2. Using too many cleaning products. You open your cleaning cabinet and it feels like a chemistry lab. Glass cleaner, multi-surface spray, bathroom spray, kitchen degreaser, disinfectant, polish, something with a strong smell you bought once and never trusted again. And yet, nothing ever feels fully clean. Why this happens? Too many products create false security. You assume, if I have the right product, the mess will disappear. But instead, what actually happens is, you hesitate before choosing, you layer chemicals on top of each other. You leave residue behind. You dull surfaces instead of refreshing them. Some products even cancel each other out or create sticky films that attract more dirt. So, surfaces get dirty faster, not slower. More chemicals doesn't mean more clean. It usually means more buildup. The fix: simplify on purpose. You only need 1 gentle all-purpose cleaner, 1 degreaser for the kitchen, 1 disinfectant, used sparingly, not daily, dish soap, which quietly handles more than half of household cleaning. That's it. With fewer products, decisions disappear. Surfaces stay residue-free. Cleaning becomes automatic instead of strategic. Your home should smell neutral and fresh, not aggressively scented. Clean doesn't shout. It settles. Mistake 3. Cleaning top to bottom, in the wrong order. You wipe the counter until it shines. Then you clean the stove. Then you remember the shelf above. You dust it. And dust falls right back onto the counter you just cleaned. Grease splatters. Particles drift down. You've just undone your own work. The rule you're ignoring. Gravity always wins. It doesn't care how hard you worked. Dust falls downward. Liquids drip. Debris settles. If you clean bottom up, you create invisible rework. The fix: always clean in this order. Top, middle, bottom. That means shelves before counters. Counters before floors. Dusting before vacuuming. Vacuuming before mopping. This isn't about discipline, it's about physics. Once you respect gravity, cleaning stops feeling endless. You clean once, and you're actually done. Mistake 4. Ignoring high-touch areas. Your house looks clean. The surfaces shine. The floors are clear. But the places you touch most? They're quietly dirty. Light switches, door handles, remote controls, phone screens, fridge handles. They don't look messy, but they hold the most grime. Why this matters? These areas collect skin oils, sweat, bacteria, invisible residue. They're touched constantly and cleaned rarely. So even in a visually clean home, something feels off. The space doesn't feel fresh, it feels used. How to fix it? Add a 2-minute habit to your week. Once or twice a week, quickly wipe light switches, door handles, remotes, phones. No deep scrubbing, no perfection, just consistency. This single habit dramatically changes how clean your home feels, even more than floors or counters. Because cleanliness isn't just visual, it's tactile. Mistake 5. Over-wetting surfaces. More water feels like deeper cleaning. So you spray until it drips. You mop until the floor is soaked. You wipe until surfaces shine wet. But water, when misused, causes damage. What over-wetting actually does? It creates streaks, swollen wood, lingering moisture, mold growth, sticky residue, especially on wooden furniture, laminates, cabinets, counterseams. Water that doesn't dry properly doesn't clean, it weakens. The fix: clean damp, not wet. Spray the cloth, not the surface. Wring mops until barely moist. Let air circulate. Let surfaces dry quickly. Dry surfaces repel dirt. Wet surfaces invite it. Mistake 6. Using dirty cleaning tools. You're cleaning with a sponge that smells bad, a cloth that's been used too many times, a vacuum that hasn't been emptied, a mop that never fully dries. Why this backfires? Dirty tools don't clean. They redistribute dirt. They spread bacteria. They create odors. They leave streaks. They undo effort. This is why sometimes cleaning makes things worse. The fix: treat tools as part of cleaning, not accessories. Wash cloths after each use. Replace sponges weekly. Empty vacuum bins regularly. Rinse and fully dry mops. Clean tools multiply your effort. Dirty tools cancel it. Mistake 7. Cleaning when you're already exhausted. You wait until the mess feels unbearable. Until you're irritated. Until you can't relax. Until cleaning feels like punishment. The emotional reality. This is how cleaning becomes associated with stress, guilt, failure, burnout. Not because cleaning is hard, but because it's always done at the breaking point. The fix: stop tying cleaning to guilt. Instead, do small resets before exhaustion. Clean for 10 minutes, not 2 hours. Save deep cleaning for high-energy days. Cleaning should support your life, not demand sacrifice from it. Mistake 8. Letting clutter masquerade as dirt. You scrub endlessly. But the real issue isn't dirt. It's too much stuff. Decor you don't love. Items without homes. Objects kept just in case. Why cleaning feels impossible? You're cleaning around clutter instead of removing it. Every surface is interrupted. Every wipe requires rearranging. Every task takes longer than it should. The fix. Before cleaning, ask, do I use this? Do I love this? Does this belong here? Less stuff means faster cleaning, clearer surfaces, easier maintenance. Minimal effort starts with minimal clutter. Mistake 9. Cleaning floors last, but rushing them. By the time you finally get to the floor, something has already shifted. Your shoulders are tense. Your patience is thinner. Your only real goal now is to finish. So you rush. You vacuum quickly, skipping corners. You mop in wide, careless strokes. You don't wait for sections to dry, you just want it done. And when you step back, the room looks almost clean, but not settled, not finished. Why this happens? Floors come last in most routines, but they carry the emotional weight of the entire clean. They're the final impression, the foundation everything sits on. When floors are rushed, the room never feels complete even if everything else is spotless. Streaks catch the light. Dust gathers along edges. Bare feet notice what your eyes try to ignore. The fix. Slow down only where it matters most. Break floor care into deliberate steps. First, sweep or vacuum slowly. Not aggressively, intentionally. Let the tool do the work. Pay attention to where dirt actually collects. Then edge first. Along walls. Under cabinets. Around furniture legs. This is where most dirt hides and where most people never look. Mop in sections. Small areas. Controlled movement. Let each section dry before moving on. Floors aren't just another task. They anchor the entire room. When the floor feels clean, everything else feels calm. Mistake 10. Using scent to hide dirt. You light a candle. You spray a freshener. You plug something in. The room smells clean, but something still feels wrong. The illusion of clean. Scent is powerful. It tricks the brain into associating smell with cleanliness. But fragrance doesn't remove dirt. It doesn't eliminate bacteria. It doesn't solve hidden problems. Instead, it covers them. Trash that should have been taken out. Fabrics holding on to old smells. Drains that need attention. The result is a space that smells strong but feels heavy. The fix: always remove the source first. Take out the trash. Wash the fabric. Flush the drain. Ventilate the room. Only then should you add scent, and even then lightly. Because clean air feels different from scented air. Your body notices it. Your breathing slows. The space feels lighter. Clean doesn't announce itself. It settles quietly. Mistake 11. Ignoring fabrics. Hard surfaces get attention. Counters are wiped. Tables are polished. Floors are scrubbed. But fabrics, the soft things, are forgotten. Couches, curtains, rugs, throw pillows. They look fine until they don't. What fabrics really hold? Fabrics absorb. Dust particles floating in the air. Cooking smells. Body oils. Sweat. Everyday life. Over time, they become silent collectors of everything you can't see. This is why a room can look clean but still smell stale. The fix: make fabric care part of your rhythm. Vacuum upholstery weekly, even briefly. Wash removable covers regularly. Take rugs outside when possible. Open windows and let fabrics breathe. Clean fabrics don't just change how a room smells. They change how it feels. The room becomes softer, lighter, more welcoming. Mistake 12. Cleaning too aggressively. Scrubbing harder feels productive. You press down. You move faster. You apply force. It feels like effort, so it must be working. But over time, this approach causes damage. What aggression actually does? It scratches surfaces, dulls finishes, wears down materials, shortens the life of your home, especially on countertops, appliances, sinks, floors. Aggressive cleaning doesn't mean effective cleaning. It just means impatience. The fix: let time do the work. Apply the cleaner. Step back. Let it sit. Dirt loosens when it's given time, not pressure. Then wipe gently. This protects surfaces, reduces effort, and cleans more thoroughly. Patience cleans better than force. Mistake 13. Not letting cleaners sit. This one is incredibly common. You spray. You wipe immediately. Nothing changes. So you spray more and scrub harder. Why this fails? Most cleaners are designed to work chemically, not instantly. They need dwell time to break down grease, lift grime, loosen residue. When you wipe too soon, you're removing the cleaner before it can work. The fix: change the sequence. Spray. Wait 30 to 60 seconds. Then wipe. That pause does more than extra scrubbing ever will. This single habit can cut cleaning time in half. Mistake 14. Trying to do everything in one day. You wake up motivated. Today is the day. You'll clean everything. You start strong. Room after room. Task after task. Then halfway through, the energy drops. The house is half done. You're overwhelmed. You stop. And the next time you look at cleaning, it feels even heavier. Why this happens? All or nothing cleaning creates burnout. Your brain associates cleaning with overwhelm, failure, exhaustion, not progress. The fix: break cleaning into zones or days. Kitchen today, bathroom tomorrow, floors another time. Small wins build momentum. Finished tasks build confidence. Consistency always beats intensity. Mistake 15. Expecting cleaning to fix your life. This one is quiet. You clean hoping to feel in control, calm, grounded, better. And sometimes it works, but when it doesn't, frustration follows. The truth: cleaning is not therapy. It's not a cure. It's not a solution to everything you're carrying. It's a support system. The fix: let cleaning serve your life, not define it. A clean home should create space for rest, creativity, peace. Not pressure, not perfection, not self-judgment. If cleaning has ever made you feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or like you're always behind, you're not failing. You were just never taught how to clean in a way that respects your energy, your time, and your life. Clean homes aren't built by harder work. They're built by better systems. If this video helped you see cleaning differently, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who's tired of cleaning but still wants peace at home. And remember this: a clean space isn't about impressing anyone. It's about giving yourself room to breathe.